Hey everybody, welcome back to Royal Tarot Readings. This is my fun channel that I do for tarot readings on the royal family. All information presented in this video is for fun and entertainment purposes only. It's fun, it's tarot. I'm just a gal with cards. Alright, so today put your tin foil hats on, my peeps. Alright, so kind of a long preamble because I want to thoroughly explain what I'm going to be reading about. And this is for people who aren't real familiar with the U.S. election laws, because this is going to be on the upcoming election in the U.S. on November 5th. All right, so here's what I want to say. The way the U.S. election law works is we don't go with a popular vote, we go with the electoral vote. And this ensures that the person elected as president is not elected by just the highest populated states, because that's not how we want to work. We want to work have every state have their vote. So we have the Electoral College, and it takes 270 Electoral College votes to reach the election for the presidency. Okay, so what happens? And what happens if no one gets to 270? What happens if for some reason it's not decided? Then it has to go to the House of Representatives. Is there precedent for this? Yes, there is. This happened in 1800. It happened in 1824 and 1876, where the election goes to the House of Representatives. Now, in the House, there are currently 435 members, all divided up by the states, the 50 states. Now, the states don't have the same number of representatives in the House. It goes by population. So one state may only have 3 electoral votes because they have a lower population, whereas another state may have 15 electoral votes because it is decided by population as to how many representatives you have in the House. Now, what happens if it goes to the House? Under the 12th Amendment, which was enacted in 1804, the House will vote, but it's the state delegations who actually have the vote. The delegates are actually controlled by the Republicans, even though the House right now is controlled by the Democrats. The electoral states, the state representatives, the delegates as they call them, are controlled by the Republicans. I think it's something like 28 to 22. So what's going on is that there is a movement to try to get President Trump disqualified because people say on January 6th he was an insurrectionist. Now, that has been knocked down not only by the court, but the Supreme Court, when the state, I think it was Colorado and Maine, tried to get Trump taken off the ballot. The Supreme Court knocked it down and said, no, you can't do that. States cannot do that, but Congress can. That's why everything has to go back to Congress, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate. Okay, so if it goes to the representatives, the only way the vote can take place is if they have what's called a quorum, which means so many members have to be in attendance for the vote. The way to get around that, if a particular faction does not want the vote to go forward, it is perfectly legal for so many of the representatives to simply go outside and say, I'm here, but I'm not present for the vote. In that case, the vote cannot go forward. What happens then? Then our 14th Amendment takes over, and the person who then was elected as vice president becomes acting president. So say Trump is elected and the Democrats decide that they don't want him to be president. They can just declare him ineligible because they think that he's an insurrectionist and he's disqualified. And the top 3 people who had electoral votes, which in this case would be Harris, it could be RFK Jr. He's not on all the ballots. He's not on all the state ballots, so it probably would just be Harris. They'd say, well, we can only vote for Harris, which is why the House would probably say, well, we're not going to vote. We're just going to stand outside. We're going to be in the snow. We'll be outside. So in that case, it would then go to the 14th Amendment, which says whoever was elected vice president is going to be acting president until we can get this whole mess sorted out. So, is that going to happen? That's what I want to read on tonight. Are we going to have a huge mess in November? The election is on November 5th. Usually it's decided by either that day or the next day. And then on December 17th is when all the states go to their respective capitals and they count all the ballots and they say, yes, our delegates are going to vote for this person. And then on January 6th, which is the importance of January 6th, that's when all those sealed ballots get sent up to Washington, D.C. so that it can be opened in Congress and they can go ahead and count all the delegates and say, yes, it officially is designated that this person was elected president. So that's how January 6th, that particular date gets in there. All right. Let me make sure I got everything out there I wanted to tell you. I think that's everything. So let's find out what is going to happen on November 5th. For this reading, I'm going to use Tarot of the Owls. It's by Pamela Chen and Elizabeth Alba did the art. It's a beautiful deck. I've only used it once or twice, but it is so pretty. I just wanted to go ahead and use this one. I tried to use a different deck. It would not talk to me. It's like, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to comment on this. So, I mean, it literally gave me gibberish. So, all right. Let's see what the Tarot of the Owl wants to tell us about the U.S. election. All right, let me get my questions out here. I had my notes with all my stuff about the 12th and 14th Amendment and blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, before I get started, I had to go to quite a few different attorneys because I wanted to get the lowdown on could this actually happen, because that's kind of like the rumor going on inside the Beltway. I live near D.C. This is what's going on here. That's kind of like the scuttlebutt behind the scenes, and I went to a couple of constitutional attorneys, experts who could give me the lowdown on it. So, all right, here we go. Let's just find out once and for all who is going to win the U.S. election when all is said and done. So who's going to win the U.S. election? Is it going to be President Trump or is it going to be Vice President Kamala Harris? All right, who's going to win? The Hanged Man. So that's being stuck. Okay. So we may not know. Okay. And then will the House of Representatives try to get the winner disqualified? Because, I mean, if one side can do it, the other side can do it too. Strength. Okay. So there's going to be in a strong position. Oh, you know, are they going to they may try to get the winner disqualified. So let me say real quick before I start shuffling again. So what could happen is that if Kamala Harris wins, then, and if the House is controlled by the Republicans, they can do the same thing to her and just say, oh, well, she led everyone over the border, so she's inciting invasion. I mean, I've heard that one too. So it's all political. It's all political posturing and strategy, and it's getting ridiculous. But here we are. Okay. So will the House of Representatives try to get the winner disqualified? I'm not going to say who that person's going to be. And will the opposing party try to not have a quorum if that's going to happen, so that they can't vote? Is that what's going to happen? That they're going to they're going to go outside and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we can't vote. We don't have a quorum." And then will the vice president-elect become the acting president, if that's where this whole thing is going? The Chariot. So we have movement here. We have movement. All right. Movement and direction. All right. And then will the elected president eventually be restored? So even though this mishmash may happen, they're going to get it all sorted out. So will the person who is actually elected president, will that person be restored? And then how is the U.S. population going to react to all this? Because no matter who wins, one half of the population is going to be pissed, right? So how is the U.S. population going to react? Whoops. All right. One just flipped over here. The Lovers. Oh. Well, they may try to wait it out and just be very peaceful about it and say, let's let our laws take over. So I don't see a lot of... Oops. Well, that one ended up on the floor. Which one was that one? That one was the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Aw. So that's new, an offering and new opportunities, a new start. Interesting. Okay. All right. So those are my questions. Just a 6-card reading. That one actually felt pretty good. We'll go with this one. Okay. Whoops. All All right, let's see what we get here. 6 cards. 6 cards. Let's see what we get. All right, underlying energy is the Fool. Starting over, new beginnings. Anything's possible. My God. 8 of Swords in reverse. Releasing from a trap, and the Sun in reverse. Oh gosh, and there's the Hierophant. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3 Arcana cards. Okay. All right, so the Fool is about new beginnings. Anything's possible. 8 of Swords being released from a trap. The Sun in reverse, which is things are going to be hidden. They're going to be out of the light for a little while things get sorted out, because there is going to be some things won't be completed successfully. And then the Hierophant. This is going to be the eventual president who's going to be completely in control, and this is the whole machinations of the government. May end up in the Supreme Court. Who knows? All right, let's see what we got here. Who is going to win the U.S. election when all is said and done? 10 of Swords. Do you know, I'm going to tell you something. I did this reading yesterday, and I thought I just got gibberish from that deck. What did I get when I asked the question, the same question? The 10 of Swords. I'm not kidding you. Someone who is going to be ruined, or someone who has been ruined, is the person who's going to be eventually elected president. A new beginning. This person's going to be released from a trap, released from even prison. And things are going to be out of the light as to how everything gets worked out. But in the end, the Constitution, this is the Constitution. The Constitution rules. The Constitution will end up triumphant. Wow. I got this exact same card. All right. Someone who has gone through complete and total ruin. All right. Will the House of Representatives try to get the winner disqualified? Is that what's going to happen? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah, I think they will. This is a turn of luck. So where it was Wheel of Fortune upright is about good luck, things going for destiny, and in reverse trying to interrupt that flow of destiny, interrupt the turning good luck to bad. I think they will. House of Representatives is going to try to get the winner disqualified. And they're going to try everything and anything to get it done. But in the end, this person will be released from this trap that they've been put into. And how it's going to be worked out will actually be behind the scenes. But in the end, the Constitution will win. Okay? All right? Will the opposing party try to not have a quorum during this election if it goes to the House of Representatives? The King of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is President Trump. He is the King of Swords. Is the opposing party going to try to not have a quorum? Yeah, because they're going to try to protect him. Upright, the King of Swords is very strong. I mean, this is President Trump here. This is his. He's a Gemini, so he is the King of Swords. And in reverse, they're going to try to stop him. The opposing party is going to try to not have a quorum because they don't want this to go to the House. So I think that this is going to be, he is going to be, they're going to try to protect him, and there's going to be some nasty stuff going on, okay? There's going to be some nasty stuff. This is not going to be a pleasant thing to experience, let's put it that way. All right, and then is the person who's elected vice president, is that person going to become the acting president? The Five of Wands in reverse. Well, this is about conflict and fighting and losing that fight. So upright, the Five of Wands, again, about conflict, fighting, no one's listening. It's just a lot of bickering. And in reverse, the bickering parties have been defeated. So I think that there's going to be, and it's right over the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this turn of the wheel, it's going to try to be bad news for the person who's elected, but it's also going to be, they're going to be fighting and fighting and fighting about whether this 14th Amendment rule is going to go into being, but it has to, because if they can't settle it in the House of Representatives because they can't vote, and it will depend on who is controlling the House of Representatives. If the Republicans control it, then that's not even going to be a resolution that's introduced. But if the Democrats control the House, then there may be a big fight. But if this fight is lost, then even though people may protest and say that's not fair, that's what the 14th Amendment rules. If there is no vote in the House of Representatives, then the person who was elected vice president becomes the acting president. That's the way it works. So I think that person will become the acting president, even though there's going to be a lot of fighting about it. Will the elected president be restored eventually? The person who's elected president, is that person going to be restored? Judgment. Yep, they sure will be. Yep, judgment will rule. It will go to the courts, and it'll probably be nasty, and there's going to be a big fight. But in the end, it's starting to look like President Trump is the one who's going to be elected, and they're going to try to keep him down. They're going to try to disqualify him, but he will be restored. And it's going to take every bit that they have, because everything's going to be tried. But in the end, he will be released from this trap. And we won't see everything that is done, that happens, but in the end, the Constitution wins. All right? And then finally, how will the U.S. population react to this mess? How are they going to react? The Hermit in reverse. People are going to be upset, and there will be some rumblings. There will be some people who are very worried, but in the end, people are going to withdraw, and they're going to go in to have a good think about what's going on. And in the end, they're going to emerge from this isolation to say, this person has my support. I think that it's going to be in support of the rule of law, the process. Everything's going to be tried. He'll be released. This part here is what's interesting, that everything's going to be out of the light, but in the end, the Constitution wins. And that's what the people are going to demand. You must follow the Constitution. We are coming out of our shell to say, you must do this. We are not going to accept anything else. Wow. Well, my goodness. It's funny. I actually got the Wheel of Fortune in my other reading too, but it was upright. And I got the King of Swords as well. Isn't that so funny? I was going to post it, but I just didn't have a good feeling about it. I feel better about this one, even though I get a lot of the same cards. Isn't that funny? Oh, look at what the next card was. Justice in reverse. An injustice being done. All right, let's do a wrap up. Who's going to win the U.S. election when all is said and done? Someone that they're going to try to destroy. And that person is, the only person I can think of is Donald Trump. That's the person they always try to destroy. All right, and who will the House of Representatives try to get the winner disqualified? Yeah, they will. They're going to try to turn the luck and say that's not, he's disqualified. And then will the opposing party try to not have a quorum? They will, because they're going to try to protect the King of Swords, who is Donald Trump. And then will the vice president elected become the acting president? It looks like he will. There's going to be a big fight about it, but the people who are trying to oppose it will lose the fight. And it looks like the acting vice president will become the temporary acting president. Or the vice president elected is going to become the acting president. And then will the elected president eventually be restored? That person will be, because judgment will rule. Everything will be judged, and it will be a fair judgment. And then how will the U.S. population react? They're not going to be happy, but they're going to do a lot of introspection and pull in and say, hey, we're going to absorb what's going to happen, but in the end, they are going to make their displeasure known. They're going to make everything known that they're feeling inside, because they're going to come out of their shell to say, this is the way our Constitution works. We must follow our Constitution. The Hierophant. We must follow this. So, yeah. Wow. How interesting. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. My goodness, if you did, please like and share. And if you're a subscriber, well, thank you so much. I appreciate all my subscribers. Good gracious, 20,000. Holy cow. It's amazing. I'm trying to do some really special things now as I've gotten more subscribers. I have opened up my November for private readings. There's a link in the description. If you want a private reading, sign up for it. They'll probably go fast. So I'm only doing it for November right now because I'm pretty sure December is going to be pretty busy. If I have more time in December, I'll open it up then. November 24th is my channel's anniversary. I am going to do a live session. I'll put a post out there. Please put your comments out there as to what you think I should read on. We'll do an hour, hour and a half, see how long I can do it before my Wi-Fi bombs or something like that. But hopefully it'll last for that whole hour, hour and a half. But that'll be fun. So if you want to join us, November 25th, I'm going to decide on the time. I know I have a lot of people all around the world, so I'm going to try to find a time that's good for, as many people as possible. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much. If you're not a subscriber, you need to click that subscribe button. Come on, join us. We have a great community. We have a lot of fun here. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss another reading. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you again soon on Royal Tarot Readings. Bye-bye, everybody.